That was our Women's Retreat Women, and that's one of the things we did at our Women's Retreat. All right, I think I'm finished with announcements, so it's time for me to settle down. It's time for all of us to settle down. I invite you to breathe with me right now. Just breathe a mindful breath and relax into this beautiful day as we bring ourselves into alignment with that divine presence within us and into alignment with each other as CSL to speak our mission statement together. We recognize and realize the omnipresence of divine love as the truth of all.
Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still and know. I will make a quiet place within my life, and I will listen, Holy Spirit. I will listen. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet
Can I just take a moment, and please join me, to just take that cleansing breath and let go of the busyness. And as we sink into our heart center, I can feel the essence and the presence of the divine right here, right now, knowing that there is only one power, one presence, one life, moving in and through all as our individual essence. And in the silence, I can feel that presence radiating from each and every one as we are unified in this holy power. And so it's from this place of knowing that we are one with that divine spirit that I speak my word for each and every one here, myself, and each one on the prayer list. Christopher, Diana Pitts, Tammy, Jerry and Pat, Tricia, Sean and family, Comer family, Maggie, Bob Watts, Katie, Titus, Pat, Shirley, Christina, Renee, Richard, Evan, Maria, Corey, Fergan, Chick family, Bernard, Garcia, Marjorie, Gail, Teresa, Jason, Ben and Hannah, Don, Buster, Silvera, Tanya, James, Crystal, Ed, Pasha, and Garcia, and each one here. As I affirm for each one that this is the truth of our being, that this is a day, a week, a month, a year of opening to our divine essence. And I declare that the fullness of spirit is active and present as each life and each request. And I know from this fullness of spirit that each life is energized and strengthened from within. And knowing our divine essence, we release fear and choose compassion and choose love. That we release anxiety. We release all things that are not of our essence. And our life is co-created with that power and that presence. That our life and the life of each one is filled with many blessings, and each move through their day guided, uplifted, and directed by that inner wisdom, by that inner joy and peace. That this is the truth of each and every one. And this flow enhances all business, all personal affairs, relationships, health, finances, every good thing necessary for fulfilling our purpose is abundantly supplied. And we see the divine in all, knowing that we are connected, and we actively live from this divine love in all areas of our life. And we give gratitude knowing that it is all good. This service is blessed, and all those who make it possible. We are so uplifted and inspired by the energy of the music and the message and the interaction and fellowship with each other. Our consciousness is expanded as we feel that divine essence from each and every one. So I am filled with gratitude and thanksgiving for knowing this truth. This is the truth of each and every one of us knowing that our lives are fulfilled and with purpose. And I release these words into the law, knowing it is already so, that Spirit responds instantaneously to our desires. So we just let go, knowing that our word does not return void. And we just join together in unison and declare, and so it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love. To the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go. Closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go. Deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go. Closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul.
Good morning. If for some reason there are things that are just seem to be obstacles to you for preventing you feeling that fullness of spirit as your life, please put your concerns, your situations, whatever, in the prayer chest, and the practitioner will do affirmative prayer on your behalf this week. The root of joy is gratefulness. It is not joy that makes us grateful. It is gratitude that makes us joyful. And that's from Friar David Steindl-Rast. And from Helen Keller, joy is the holy fire that keeps our purpose warm and our intelligence aglow.
Well, this is the time of year that you want to make sure that you keep your car doors locked and windows up, or you may find your car full of zucchini. Here's a story about that in these words once more time. Well, I planted a couple of fields of zucchini, and I planted a few seeds of joy.
And I'm happy to say they're both growing like crazy. I got 4 baby nuts, so I'm giving it away. Joy and zucchini are sprouting up all around me. Trickles in size overnight. So I'll give some to you and to you and to you. Sharing this bounty is my delight. But I've got so much joy and zucchini that with all that is mine. So if you're short on either, open your arms, I'll go to us. There's lots for everyone and I'll joy and zucchini are sprouting up all around me. Trickles in size overnight. So I'll give some to you and to you and to you. Sharing this bounty is my delight. Joy and zucchini are sprouting up all around me. Trickles in size overnight. To you, and to you, and to you. Sharing this bounty is my delight. Sharing this bounty is my delight. Sharing this bounty is my delight.
Did you say Tamara wrote that song? Yeah. Let's go, songwriter Tamara. Nice, nice. Okay, so we're singing about joy because our August focus is abundant joy. And so this is the last Sunday for that. And we will be talking about the blocks to joy and how to get in. So, when I'm thinking about things that irritate me, do you guys ever do that? Then no doubt I will find myself irritated, right? My grouchy temperament came from a thought that I was having. Do you see how powerful thoughts are? I could also think about things that bring me joy. And again, there is no doubt that I would find myself in a joyful mood just from a thought. My thoughts are deciding how I feel. The spiritual law that brings our thought into existence or form in our lives is impersonal. It works for everyone, like gravity. And it works on what we call both good and bad thoughts, positive and negative thoughts. So the law of God never judges what we choose to think. It just obliges and brings it forth. Its job is to produce from the mold it is given. And the mold is our thoughts. From Shakespeare. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so, right? This philosophy makes really good sense, doesn't it? When I'm just thinking about it, it makes good sense. But why am I unable to think thoughts of joy instead of my negative stinking thinking? Right? Do you have that problem too? It's just not that easy just to switch over, is it? It's just not that easy all the time. I want to share this article that I found on the website, clarityonfire.com. Clarity on Fire. It says, I think I'm bad at joy, said my client, Laura, at the start of our last coaching call. She went on to tell me about a mini road trip she and her boyfriend took over the weekend. There was a moment in the car when everything felt right in the world. The sun was shining, the windows were down, her favorite music was blasting, and her boyfriend smiled over at her and put his arm around the back of her seat. I literally thought my heart was going to burst. I was so blissed out in that moment, she said. But it didn't last long. Almost immediately, Laura's mind started to freak out, she says. Started saying things like, I really shouldn't have taken this trip. My boss is already annoyed that I took a whole week off earlier this month and now I'm taking another long weekend. Ugh, going back to work on Tuesday is gonna be fun. And I probably should have put the money I spent on this trip toward my student loans. Oh, I'm going to be paying those off forever. Maybe I should get a second job or a higher paying job. But what kind of job? Do I need a second degree to get a better paying job? But that would mean more student loans. And what if I don't even like that job? I'm never gonna figure this out. Within 30 seconds, Laura's joy had evaporated. She asked me, what happened? I was so happy. And then I just wasn't. It was like all of those crazy anxious thoughts took over my brain. What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with Laura. She just has the same impulse that most people I know have, to rein in her joy. As much as we're all seeking happiness, we can get freaked out once we actually feel it. Why? Because too much joy may feel either inappropriate, like it's awkward to be the one laughing until you cry at a work party, whatever. Or it can feel dangerous. Watch out, all this happiness could come crashing down at any moment. Or it could feel naive. How can you be happy when there's so much negativity in the world? Or unproductive. No time to celebrate, on to the next milestone, right? So you'll be tempted to restrain your joy. You'll allow yourself to experience only so much of it, and only in fleeting moments before you'll talk yourself out of it. The truth is, joy is vulnerable. The happier you feel, the more you've got to lose. And that's freaking scary, she says. Anybody know Gay Hendricks? He's an author. He's been around for a long time. Gay Hendricks calls this an upper limit problem in his book, The Big Leap. Gay Hendricks is an awesome author too, and that book is good, The Big Leap. He says your upper limit is the amount of happiness you're comfortable with. And anything beyond that limit will send your mind into full-on freak-out mode. She likes freak-out, doesn't she? When you hit your threshold for happiness, your instinct will be to rein in your joy or self-sabotage to bring you back into your happiness comfort zone. The point is to protect you from massive disappointment. Because if you weren't really that happy to begin with, you can't be so disappointed if it were to all come crashing down around you. Right? Wrong, she says. We have this mistaken subconscious belief that if we tamp down our joy now, if we wind up disappointed later on, it won't hurt as badly. But if you ask anyone who's been through a tragedy or a massive disappointment, they'll be the first one to tell you that nothing could have prepared them for the heartbreak. She says, I've known and coached people who have been through divorce, loss of loved one, a miscarriage, losing their home, a frightening health challenge. Not a single one would tell you, I'm glad I didn't let myself be too happy before this happened, because it made going through this experience less painful. In fact, they'll tell you the exact opposite. They'll say they regret not fully enjoying every single moment they had with the person who's no longer in their life, or while they were fully healthy, or generally when life was easier and happier before whatever tragedy came along. You can't experience joy if your mind keeps replaying moments from your past or worrying about the future. True happiness happens in the present moment. So do whatever it takes to bring yourself into right now. And look for the joy and appreciation and fun. She says, where in your life are you limiting yourself from feeling joy? It's the end of that article. So, in my experience, enjoying life, my experience has been that enjoying life is addicting. The more I enjoy life, why? The more enjoyable life becomes. That makes good sense, right? The block to my joy is my thinking. And the way to get in joy is my thinking, right? Isn't that just like God to make the problem the answer? Right? So fabulous. So today I have a 2-step process that I use. It's my own process. I made it up, but I'm sure not the originator of this. So I use this for releasing my blocks and allowing myself to feel more joy fully. That's what I'd like to share with you today. We'll get it. Number 1. Yeah. Get over yourself, Brenda. Just start by getting over yourself. Then you got to get into God. Okay? So what I mean is take your attention off of your little self and put it on your big self, your higher self, or God in action as you. So first we must begin to realize when our attention is on what we don't want, or what we don't have, or on complaining about something, or resisting what is happening right now. We have to realize that we're even doing that to begin with, right? When we are feeling less than joy, we are thinking a less than joyful thought. Usually, I speak for myself, but it's pretty universal, usually a victim thought about ourselves. A false thought, because we are not victims in life. We are the captains of our soul. Doesn't that just feel good? We are the captains of our soul. We feel like victims because we don't feel worthy. Somewhere in our life, we believe we messed up so badly that we can never be forgiven. Therefore, we can never be worthy of feeling joy. So we need to remove from our belief system not the thought that caused us to feel unworthy in the first place, because boy, oh boy, is that hard. You're going back to 2 years old or whatever it was. So we don't necessarily, this much belief, we don't have to remove that particular belief so much as we have to remove the thought that we're not worthy. So to get over ourselves, I think we must forgive ourselves. We must forgive ourselves and surrender. Surrender my need to be right. Surrender my need to be a victim. And surrender to the truth that it is God's good pleasure to give us the kingdom, to give us access to those higher realms of vibrational life where joy resides. And we accept the kingdom by giving it forward, by forgiving, by forgiving ourselves and others. When there is no condemnation left inside us, then we find the door to the kingdom of joy wide open and available, and it pours out of us as gratitude. Self-forgiveness leads to forgiveness of others, just as forgiveness of others leads to self-forgiveness. Isn't God good? Right? This is how we remove our blocks of unworthiness and move beyond our current threshold of joy and expand that, lift our limits. We need to forgive over and over again, deeper and deeper. I think as long as we are experiencing this physical reality, there will be the need for forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness. It's deep and it leads to miracles in our lives. Some of us have no idea we need to forgive ourselves. But as we start the practice, we will gain a new understanding, a new respect, and a new love for ourselves, and in turn for others as well. I invite you to make forgiving yourself a daily practice in your life, and I guarantee more joy. When we're able to let go of those denser energies, then we automatically feel lighter, right? In spirit, lifted up, uplifted. I want to be an uplifter, not a downer. Do you? Do you? So the next, get over yourself and get into God, your Christ self, your higher nature, your higher self. Put your attention on what is right in your life and what is working in your life, no matter how small and insignificant it seems to be. If you have one thing right and one thing working, put your attention on that. Get a clear understanding of what God means to you. This will morph and change throughout your life. And it is a lifelong process, but we can start today to study God or life and the way it works. Do you have a spiritual study? Do you have a spiritual practice? A time you set aside just for spiritual work? I hope you do. Because I don't want you to be left behind just watching TV or just talking about God, like on social media. It's all okay, but there's got to be more. It's got to be deeper. I want you to be in tune with and in the flow with that divine, invisible energy that is waiting and wanting to express the real you. Meditate. Contemplate life. Have a vision of what you want. And know you are getting what you need. Empower your vision with spirit-led action. Forgive yourself daily and surrender to knowing all is well in this present moment. And by God, it's well in this present moment too. This is God's moment, not mine. I will express it to the best of my ability to glorify divine love for myself and for all others, without my judgment placed upon it. I think life is supposed to be joyful and fun. A God of love and intelligence surely would create a life of joy for its creation. So if you're looking to experience more joy in your life, consider the two things. Get over yourself and accept that the present moment as it is. Accept this present moment as it is. Praise and raise the good in every moment by forgiving. Simple act of forgiving. You don't even have to know how to forgive. have to be willing to forgive. And surrender to your oneness with that divine. And at the same time, get into God by doing your spiritual work. In a spiritual universe, we have to begin thinking from the spiritual perspective. We have to see everything and everyone from that place of wholeness, from that place of oneness. We have to catch ourselves when we're not. Usually we do, right? So homework this week. Before bed each night, or first thing in the morning, or of course, better yet, woohoo, both, right? Write down 5 people, situations, circumstances that you are willing to forgive. I'm not asking you to do anything more than be willing, okay? So write this down. I'm willing to forgive. If you could go further than that, do, if you know how. If you don't have a clue, I'm just willing to forgive. The beginning. Always include yourself in that. Always include yourself. And just this is a little side note from my personal experience. You probably should put in your family too. It's a good idea, especially, the sibling family, mom and dad, all that. Even if you had the greatest, because you don't know as a child what you're holding on to. I'm willing to forgive, okay? And then write down 5 things, people or whatever, that you're grateful for. And that in gratitude. 5 things. It could be the same 5 things every night. It doesn't matter. The idea is to bring your attention to that. Bring my attention towards gratitude. Don't fall asleep without forgiving and gratitude, okay? Be active in creating your life to be more joyful. Always moving towards the truth of who you are. Always moving towards who you want to be. Catch ourselves. Am I being who I want to be? Be an uplifter. Bringing joy to yourself. Oh, we'll need you up here, Dave. Bringing joy to yourself. Bringing joy to the world around you. What do you say? Yeah?
Yes.
Let's sing about it, eh?
God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moonglow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe, and your perfect love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything
joyfully participate in the law of circulation. So if you will take your gift in your hand and know with me that joyfully I have received this and enjoy, I share this with the world, knowing that is my good goes forth, increasing the good of all. And our affirmation, I am worthy of
Let's do it again.
yes, I
I
am
am worthy of abundance.
And may these gifts, these blessings, go forth, helping our world, our community, and our church be a bigger and greater presence in that divine love. And so it is.
So it is.
Claiming our good. So here it is. If you want to keep these affirmations, there's a blue sheet over here on the handout table that has all of the affirmations for August. You can take those home and say them morning, noon, and night. All right, here we go. All the way down, all together, and we've done this for quite a few weeks, so let's hear it like you mean it, okay? Here we go. Joy is the essence of my being. My inner joy is the source of all the good in my life. I give myself permission to enjoy myself. I am worthy of feeling happy, and so it is.
I'm in the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I'm getting testified here. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be.